Hi folks, today I have for us a video from Cult News where he goes to Lancaster, Ohio to harass a library, admits that he knows it's a limited public forum, and still continues to defy the policies and rules of the library. But before we start, as always, a big thank you to all my current channel members and subscribers. Without your guys' continuous ongoing support, I couldn't keep the channel going, so thank you from the bottom of my heart. Also, if you could for me, please subscribe to the page, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on upcoming videos and live streams. Leave a like and a comment because it helps me with the algorithm, and please consider becoming a member. It's a great way to show support for me and the channel. With all that being said, let's enjoy today's video.
This is the Fairfield County District Library. Now, I try to treat other people how I would want to be treated. Liar! You know, and I'll be frank with you. Can I walk into a public library and take pictures, videos, and get kids in the... yes, I can. I generally avoid that. I get it. I absolutely get people losing their freaking minds over... well, maybe not losing their minds, but, I understand people not wanting their kids' pictures taken. These guys are open till 8 p.m. Holy cow. Nice. Oh, here we go. QR codes. Student health and well-being. You got QR codes. Take a picture of that. Okay. Boom. There you go. You guys are open until 8 p.m. tonight? What day of the week is today? It's a silly question. Today's Thursday? Holy shnikes. It sounds pretty quiet in here, right? Nobody's else. I try to come kind of later in the afternoon. I just want to get a few pictures of the library here. The library, I want to get a digital library of your library, per se. You guys can rent out music? Very cool. Well, I can't imagine it wouldn't be.
Clearly, our frauding friend here, Mr. Norton, has never been to a library in the last few years because he would have known that public libraries are actually limited public forums, which do have time, place, and manner restrictions and can dictate who can and who can't film or take photos inside. Also, if he had been in the library in the last, 30 or 40 years, he would have known that many libraries started to allow patrons to check out compact discs or CDs, VHS, DVDs, Blu-rays, video games, all these kinds of great things to experience different forms of media and, well, even different forms of literature and art. Instead, he wants to put on the wow, like he's never seen this before. I'm not buying it, and I hope you guys aren't too.
Holy shnikes. There you go. Oh, they got movies too. This is like a blockbuster. Holy shnikes. Look at that. Okay. Fairfield Library. He can rent movies. They got TV shows, series. You got all the Star Wars stuff. And I'm pretty sure it's free. Look at that. Blockbuster goes out of business, so these guys take over. This is free, right? One can rent movies for free.
Yes, and excuse me, sir. You need to get permission to do any kind of photography or videotape.
Oh yeah, no, I got permission. It's all good. Yeah, no, I definitely got permission.
See it then, please.
You want to see my permission?
Yes.
Well, I got permission from...
I would have been told. I'm a supervisor.
I got permission from the owner of the building.
This is a library.
Yeah. Do you know who the owner of the building is?
But does your dumbass know who owns the library? Yes, it is a public library. However, most libraries do receive some funding from the government. The rest is actually done through charitable organizations and donations, such as people donating books or their time, or in some cases, groups like the Friends of the Library, who actually have a board of trustees, sit on there, and actually help raise money to fund for new books, new computers, new videos, new games, whatever it takes to help bring people into the library to help further their wonders and their educational purposes, or just to entertain them. You borrowing lines from other frauditors doesn't look good on you, just like when you were trying to copy Sean Paul Reyes.
I know who the library director is.
You know who?
I know there's a board of trustees.
But who owns the library? Do you know who the owner is, right?
Do I need to call the police?
Oh my goodness! Why would you? Oh my goodness! Why would you call the police?
Because you're not answering my questions and you're not doing what I asked you to do, which is to stop videotaping.
But why do you want me to stop videotape? I don't understand what the concern is.
Because you need permission.
I have permission from the
No,
owners
you
of the building. I most
No,
certainly.
you don't.
Ma'am, then you do what you have to do. I have
Then you
permission.
need permission from the director.
Why would I have to have permission from the director? I have permission from the owner of the building.
No, you don't, sir.
I do. Do you know who the owner of the building is? Oh my goodness. Well, anyways, as I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, check it out. I used to have Blockbuster, and now you can come to the public library, the Fairfield County Public Library, and you can check out movies and music. Check it out, music. They got everything. Yeah, it's kind of silly to be in the library and be told I can't take pictures, for crying out loud. How am I supposed to document this and send this back to friends and family? Oh,
Maybe if you would call ahead and ask for permission, you would be allowed, since this is a limited public forum. Now, by the way, I'm going to have to make a jump cut because he inserts some copyrighted music and copyrighted footage, which would more than likely get me a demonetization on this video or possibly a strike, so I do apologize for this inconvenience.
oh my God. Who does not love the Carol Burnett show? I would recommend for younger viewers that are watching this, if you don't know who Carol Burnett is, I highly recommend that you check her out because she's hilarious. Oh, you got your self-checkout station here. Oh, you can check out all the stuff yourself. Very nice. Very nice. I'm assuming a library card is still free these days, correct? Mm-hmm. And you can check out it. Is there a limit to how many movies you can check out at any given time?
You can check out 100 items.
Holy cow. Did you hear that? Is it just for Fairfield County people?
That I do not know.
I'll find out. But if you're in Fairfield County, you can come down to the library and check out a bazillion movies. 100 movies. Not quite a bazillion, but it's a lot of movies. I don't know why you need to. I would recommend maybe 2 or 3 at a time. I'm just saying you could, theoretically. I'm going to look into getting a library card.
Now, if you're going to do that, you're going to need to show some proof of residence. And you're going to need to show a valid ID. But wait, wouldn't that be a violation of you frauditors' Fourth Amendment? Because that's what you guys would naturally say, so why aren't you saying it now? You've actually said before in a previous video that you're not a resident of Ohio, you're only a visitor here. So why would you need a library card in a state or city you don't even live in?
I'm sorry, I've upset your little friend back here. I'm avoiding getting anybody on the camera, literally, just kind of showing family what we're talking about moving here, what you guys have in the library. I'm literally avoiding taking pictures or video of any people, including employees. And old Sally McWorryword over here is upset and thinking that somehow it's illegal for me to be taking pictures in a public library. That makes me sad.
Oh, but baby.
Is she a librarian? I mean, it's a public library. If you can't take pictures in a public library, holy cow, I'm going to have to check out a book on the First Amendment. Hey guys, little reminder here that when we get to 100,000 subscribers, Stacy and I are getting married, and I'd like to make that happen sooner rather than later.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
Help us out. Go subscribe right now. Thanks. can do self-checkout here. So you don't have to bother the good folks here. You can just do it yourself. There you go. Friends of Fairfield County District Library. We're gonna get our name on this, make a donation. Maybe, I don't know what you have to do to get on that, but it looks like just money. You give them money and you get on that. We'll find out. We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. I like that. I got a copier here. You can come in and use this. Black and white copies are only 10 cents.
I think we've had enough of his tour. Why don't we just jump ahead to cut out some deader that's coming up to him actually having a confrontation with more staff of this particular library.
Sir, you
Yes,
can't
ma'am.
videotape in the library
Why not?
because it's against the rules. You have to have permission from the director in order to videotape.
I have to have permission from the director?
Yes, you have to go to the director's office and get permission there for that.
I already got permission from the owner of the building, of the owner of the library.
If you're considering the public as the owner, that's not true. We are a limited public library.
So you're not, this isn't a public library?
It's a public library, but what's the phrase limited?
Federal courts have deemed public libraries to be a limited public forum.
Correct. Basically,
We
what
can
that,
restrict.
well, what that means is that I
Sir,
can't
we
come
can
in here
res-
and give a big giant speech.
No, you can't
Yeah,
videotape
I can't.
either.
I'm
Shenanigans.
Na 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 na.
Shenanigans.
Na 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 na.
No. That is some shenanigans right there. You are misleading people, trying to make this false narrative that a lot of you frauditors have when it comes to the limited public forum status. Yes, it does not mean you cannot go in there and give a big speech. However, it also means you can't go in there to take photographs or video whenever you want. That means they can place time, place, and manner restrictions on there to how you can do it, such as going through the director and asking for permission. Now, you can argue all you want that, yeah, well, it's public, so I own it. Well, Greer v. Spock nullifies your argument. And if there's already federal court cases that have stated that the public library is a limited public forum, your argument is mute. They can ask you to leave and stop, and if you refuse, they can go further and have you criminally trespassed.
with the press, and I'm
Sir,
taking a few
I
pictures
can
and
call
video.
the police.
You do what you have to do, ma'am. I'm just taking a few pictures and documenting my journey here.
You cannot include any people without their permission. No
I'm in
staff
public,
member,
ma'am.
nobody from
Ma'am,
the
I'm
public.
in public.
can-
Lower your voice from
Sir,
the library.
Sir,
We're in a
you're
you
not
know,
listening
step
to
in
me.
here where we can talk privately, where we're not disturbing.
This is our code of conduct.
Ma'am,
Our code of conduct,
I understand. Come on in here. Come in here. Let's have a conversation like adults here.
sir.
If
I've
you
already
can't,
explained to you the rules.
thank you very much.
I've already explained to you the rules. You're violating the code of conduct.
Okay, but I'm not violating the law, ma'am. It's not against the law to take pictures in public.
You're violating our code of conduct. I am permitted to ask you to leave the building.
Photography, videotaping of any kind within a library is prohibited without permission from a library supervisor. Interesting. Do I have to have permission from the library supervisor to practice my religion?
This guy is fucking stupid.
That's not under discussion.
Well, it's the
right
same.
now.
It's the same
It's our
amendment
code
to
of
the
conduct.
Constitution. May I get your name?
My name's Helen. I'm
My
one
name
of the
is-
supervisors
my name is
in the
Mike.
building today, and you need to talk to the director.
My name is Mike.
I'm glad to meet you, Mike.
Are you the?
Again, I'm letting you know.
Do you understand that I wasn't until now? I wasn't really taking pictures of any people. I was very quietly, dare I say, reverently, walking through the library, doing a little.
It doesn't matter. Go ahead and read
Can I
that
have
to me
this?
again.
I can have
yes,
this,
that's
right?
your copy.
Yeah. Well, you want me to read the part that you guys just wrote in there? Photography, videotape. It's the First Amendment, ma'am. I'm not in here giving a speech. I understand federal courts have said
I
that
have permission
it is a limited
to
public
ask
forum.
you to leave the building. If
For-
you don't comply to the code of conduct.
For breaking the law.
If you don't, if you do not comply to the code of conduct.
And the code of conduct is unconstitutional. You can't make a code of conduct is that to be a Jew.
You
That is the most insensitive and vile thing I have ever heard. Their code of conduct is not denying anybody from practicing their religious beliefs. I get that you have a beef with the Mormon church and organized religion in general for what I've gathered, but You cannot tell them that their code of conduct, which does not violate the Constitution, is unconstitutional. You admit that this is a limited public forum. Therefore, you must obey the rules of the limited public forum. And if you don't obey the rules, their code of conduct states that they can have you escorted out of the building and trespass you. If you don't choose to obey the rules, they can kick you out. But you make up this argument of, well, you're saying I can't be a Jew? Nobody said that. You did. You're the one being insensitive. You're the one being a prick.
May take that up with our board. They meet on, I think it's the second or third Tuesday.
I suspect I'll take it up with the police when they show up.
Okay.
You have yourself a good day. I'll probably be gone by the time they get here, for crying out loud. I'm embarrassed for you. Jeez.
Sir,
Ma'am,
you may turn off.
I am not turning off anything. I am very quietly, respectfully documenting my journey. I came here in 1976 with my brother and did some stuff, and now I'm coming back and I'm doing a little story and I'm documenting that.
I
It is
hear
not against the
everything
law.
that you're
I am
saying,
no
but you're
freaking-
still breaking the code of conduct. I've
The
explained this to
free
you.
press can't
I
be
have
against
to
the code of
ask you to
conduct.
leave the building
And I'm going to ask you to leave me alone.
No.
Free press is not against the law.
Jean?
Call the...
Still here?
Ridiculous. There you go. Boom.
Now, he does go outside eventually, but he still stays in there filming, muttering to himself about how they are violating his constitutional rights in this limited public forum. As we all know, the limited public forum does have time, place, and manner restrictions, but we'll get to that later. Let's just jump ahead to his confrontation with law enforcement.
Hi. You guys called?
Yeah, they're here.
I'm on the phone with Becky at the moment, so.
Okay.
There's a gentleman in here. Our code of conduct says you cannot videotape in here without permission from the director, and he would not listen to me. He would not stop. Then he went outside. He was videotaping Helen. That's one of the reasons why we don't want this. We don't want people's privacy invaded.
Yeah, he's been going around to different businesses today and doing it, so you guys aren't the first ones
Yeah,
to call.
he told
so.
me he was making a journey, that he had lived in this area before and he was just visiting all the places he'd been before. But in a public place, you can't go around breaking people's privacy.
Right.
And our code of conduct says you can't do it, so we have to uphold our code of conduct.
Okay.
But as for, yeah, I agree. It's not against the law, but it's against our code of conduct.
Right. Well, we can go out there and tell him not to be videotaping inside or anything like
Yeah,
that.
not inside, not people. But unfortunately, I'm on videotape asking him not to tape me, so.
Yeah.
And I'm probably on there telling him.
And I did make the mistake, when you get nervous and you just start, and you say the wrong word, and I said, instead of saying you're breaking code of conduct, I said, you're breaking the law. And then he started yelling at me. He's like, are you some kind of idiot? So I just asked him if he was yelling at me. I'm not yelling at you. Do you think this is yelling at me? You? Yeah, but I don't care. I'm going back in. People are not fun some days.
They are not. So I'll just let him know that it's your guys' policy that you can't videotape inside the library. If he does, he can be asked to leave. So
Right.
If he doesn't leave, when he's
Then-
asked to leave, then he can be trespassed. So
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And if you could let him know that.
Yeah,
That-
and that we're not asking to have him trespassed right now, but if he does it again, we will.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So as far as him being on the sidewalk, there's really nothing
It's
we can
public
do about
property,
that.
but
So,
still,
like if he's sitting
videotaping
here,
people without their permission is just an unkind, nasty thing to do. I know it happens all the time, but
yeah, it does, and unfortunately, with him being in the public, there's really not much we can do about that. So, but
At least
try to
he's
make
outside now
Right.
and not.
so I'm sure once we tell him that, he'll move along because he started all the way on East Main Street and is just working his way this way. So, don't really know what his deal is, what he's trying to do, what he's trying to accomplish, but It is what it is, so I'm going to move along, all right?
Thank you very much.
Okay, no
and
problem.
Appreciate you
Hope
stopping
your
in.
day, night gets better.
Thank you.
Set that down straight. It's kind of crazy. She thought it was illegal for me to take pictures of her from the sidewalk, for God's sake.
Yeah, so I told her that.
Lunatic.
I told her that it's completely legal. Hi, I'm Officer Snyder, Lancaster Police
I
Department.
appreciate it. I met Officer Squires earlier today.
Yep, I think he's actually on his way right now.
So
So
hear about our little, my brother and I. Oh, he'll tell you. He'll tell
all
you.
right.
He'll tell you.
Yep, but they mainly just don't want you inside filming. They
Let
said
me
you-
ask him.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. So they said it's against our policy. I said, it's against your policy that I'm a Jew?
Come here. Shut your stupid ass up.
No, that's ridiculous. I said, because it's covered under the same First Amendment, freedom of press. Now, she said, oh, libraries, courts have determined that libraries are a limited public forum. I said, I agree. We're on the same page now. We are. There's a time, place, and manner for things like what I do. I'm a photojournalist. Jelly bean?
Oh, no, thank you.
They've been in my pocket. They're
Oh, no,
real warm and soft.
I'm rarely at a loss for words, and I rarely swear on this channel, but what the fuck are you doing offering somebody jelly beans like that? Oh, well, they've been in my pocket all day. They're warm and soft. Dude, you're coming off as fucking creepy. Stop it. Get some help. And stop trying to play the, oh, well, they're outlawing religion because of this. No, it's a limited public forum. There's time, place, and manner. They gave you the restrictions and how you can actually get permission to film in there, but you choose not to because you're an ignorant, selfish little man.
Not a big candy person.
So, long story short, time, place, and manner. When I walked in here, and I was very polite, you know, and I went over here and documented all the, it's wild. Did you know, there used to be, you're probably not old enough to remember Blockbuster, are you?
I've been in Blockbuster.
Okay, so all right,
Yeah.
you're old enough then. There used to be, video rental stores all over the place. Now, you go to the library and you get all for free. All for free. Fantastic. So, great library. You can check out up to 100 items at a time. So theoretically, you come in here and check out 100 videos if you wanted. I'll tell you how now when I was a kid, what I would have done, if this is an option when I was a kid, I would have went out and checked out 100 videos, and I would have gone door to door on my street with a little library telling people, hey, for $3, $2 or whatever, you got to be, and I was a hustler when I was a kid. And so I'll tell you a little bit of what I told officer school.
Oh no, you're still a hustling because you're still trying to hustle people to give you money for your documentary to take down the Mormon church. And you're also hustling people for money to pay for your Frauditor, the RV that you said in a video not too long ago you guys could barely afford. So you need people who are watching your videos, who are subscribed to your channel, to give you money for it. I'm sorry. If you make poor financial decisions, that's on you. And your argument of, I would have gone door to door, $3 a buck, to rent out a movie, you're still financially responsible for those movies that you would check out. And if they are damaged or lost, you're paying the full price. So that little $3 doesn't cover nothing.
Wires is wild. 4th of July 1976, my brother Tom and I were in Lancaster, Ohio, and we buried some very valuable coins. I'll just leave it at that. Very valuable coins in the city of Lancaster.
Yeah, he's actually lying. He says so in the previous video of this installment of him being in Lancaster, that it was actually buried in California, not here in Lancaster, Ohio. And, well, he's just trying to waste this officer's time who could be telling him, hey, don't go in there or you'll be trespassed. Instead, he wants to waste the time by saying some fictitious story, and, well, I don't have any time for that.
I am of the belief, I'm curious about your opinion on this, that they can't make library rules that violate our rights. For example, I know that it's not a true public forum in that I can't go in there and start handing out flyers to people, for example.
351.
I can't go in there and I can't go in there and loudly start singing Amazing Grace. I can't go in there and tout the, say everybody needs to vote for this person or that. I can't do that. That's not legal. But as a member of the press...
You're not even a real journalism. That's right.
I am no more breaking the law than you are when you walked in with your body cam footage. It's not like it's legal for you to walk in with a body camera, but it's not legal for me.
Yeah, so what she was telling me, she did tell you that it was against the law. Which she said she misspoke. She said she was a little amped up, and when she said you're breaking the law, she knew that was not correct. She said that she meant to say you're breaking their code of whatever.
And I asked her, I said, if you have if your code says that I can't be Jewish, no Jews allowed. It's the same. It's the First Amendment. They can't have a rule that says I can't take pictures in a library. They just can't. You have to have permission. No, I don't. It's silly. I've taken pictures in libraries in 14 states across the country. Never had any issues.
So basically, I'm going to get out of here because it looks like things are starting to get heated. So
let
I told her...
Let me ask you a question. Seriously. And I was super quiet. I even said to her, ma'am, I am being quieter than you are. Would you like to step into another room and have this conversation in a quieter place? Because she was being kind of boisterous. And I said, shh. I said, you need to lower your voice. We're in a library. If I don't say a thing to anybody in there, if I went like this, and I literally collapsed this, and I walked through the library, with it recording, just walked through the library like that, and had to aim like this, so I wasn't even taking pictures of people, just like occasional bookshelves. Would I be arrested for, are they going to trespass me from a public library for taking pictures in the library?
So they did say that if they don't want you, they said that you're not trespassing now. They said you're free to go in there and do whatever you want to do, except record.
Can't take pictures.
So they said if you go in there again and you start recording, taking pictures and stuff, then they'll call us back and they'll ask you to be trespassed. Okay?
All right.
So as for now, you're free to walk in there all you want.
I'll be honest with you, Snyder. I'm going to say there's a 99% chance I'm going to go back in there and I'm going to very peacefully, quietly. I'm a photojournalist. If I can't take pictures in public, I'm screwed. I am screwed.
But you're not a photojournalist. You're a frauditor. You're a YouTuber. You're a content creator. Nothing you do is any journalist's integrity or endeavors. I'm ending the video here. He does go back in and he does film and he does complain the whole time at the end of the video of how this was a violation of his constitutional rights and they don't have the right to do this, even though he admits it is a limited public forum. If you guys like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Leave a thumbs up and a comment because it helps me with the algorithm. If you can, please also consider becoming a member. With all that being said, be well, be safe, and I'll see you guys next time. A special thank you to all current channel members of the news team. Without your guys' support, I couldn't keep the channel going, so thank you from the bottom of my